The time is now to make the fight we all want to see happen. Francis Ngannou is calling out Jon Jones after Jon Jones made some recent comments on Twitter that are absolutely blasphemous. Jon Jones needs to fight Tom Aspinall now. I think Tom Aspinall runs the table on this guy. However, my opinion aside, Jon Jones, if he defeats Tom Aspinall, needs to fight Francis Ngannou. Throw aside the promotions, get Francis Ngannou back in the UFC, and let's make this happen. Please, it must happen. Shout out to the African fighters for putting out this graphic. It looks great here. Johnny Meat, not Johnny Bones anymore. A little bit sus if you ask me, but crazy how you all called a duck pays better than most of you internet tough guys will make in a lifetime. 2 fights in 4 years and still one of the biggest names in the sport. Jon Bones Jones, that is. That's not ducking, that's winning. God's blessings hit different. Stay mad. Now, of course, Francis Ngannou has been paying close attention to this because he knows this is a huge fight. Blessings make haters uncomfortable, but they can't change it. There's only one fight, the right fight that will multiply your blessings. Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones have been going back and forth for years. Jon Jones formerly was in the UFC fighting at light heavyweight, was working his way up, took a couple years off, and during that time, Francis Ngannou rose to the pinnacle of the sport and became the heavyweight champion of the world, one of the most dangerous fighters of all time, one of the scariest fighters of all time, and yet he still kept improving. He played a patient game against Stipe Miocic in the rematch and took him out in the second round. It was an absolutely fantastic performance, okay? And listen, Jon Jones was calling him out, but also at the same time running in the complete opposite direction. Dana White even said it himself. Jon Jones, he's running from Francis Ngannou. He needs to go back down to middleweight, not move up to heavyweight. Well, it turns out Francis Ngannou, in that time span in which Jon Jones was off, taking a break, bulking up allegedly. But of course we know that Jon Jones came out there looking pretty thick himself and not in great shape. Bit a bit flabby, if you know what I mean. Little bit, pudgy, if you know what I mean. A little bit out of shape looking, if you know what I mean. This guy's been riding off his talent for years and years and years. And yes, was that finish over Stipe absolutely beautiful? Yes, it was. And has this guy had some of the most impressive fights at such an early age that I have never seen the likes of before and again? Absolutely, yes, it was. But he's been riding off his talent for years. He has been coasting off of his talent for years. He finally moved up when Francis Ngannou left the UFC, made a name at heavyweight, beat Ciryl Gane in what I believe could have been a thrown fight because Ciryl Gane put up less of a fight than a 42-year-old Stipe Miocic who looked like a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Okay, couldn't move on his legs and his knees. Jon Jones, he's running, okay? This guy is continuing to show that he's one of the biggest ducks in the sport. Tom Aspinall recently came out with news saying that he had a fight or something of the nature. Turns out that wasn't at all the case. Jon Jones says that he is in negotiation with the UFC, but he wants all the money. He wants fuck you money, which means 30, 40, 50 million dollars for a fight. I say UFC, pay him. This could be the biggest fight of all time between him and Tom Aspinall. If that doesn't happen, cut him and let him go fight Francis. I don't care. Make a name out of it for Tom Aspinall. Say that Francis and Jon Jones were running from Tom Aspinall the entire time. I don't care how you spin it. It is what it is at this point. But this is the Three Kings era. There's 3 big guys at heavyweight, and none of them may ever fight each other, and it's an absolute travesty. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below. More Jon Jones in the news. I'll see you in the next one.